I am disappointed in Skate. Even though the game is still in alpha and everything still could change until it eventually leaves early access, with each new update I'm losing hope more and more. As I'm recording this, the winter update just came out, so I booted up the game just to play for roughly 1 hour and exited again. I've been a fan of the Skate series ever since the day Skate 2 released, and I've been making Skate 3 videos for over 10 years now. I still remember years of speculating if Skate 4 would ever be made and how excited the whole community was when it was first announced. Skate 4! And my excitement just increased when EA reached out to me to be on the playtester council. Skate 4 is happening and I'm going to give them feedback on the game. It was like a dream come true. But then why do I not feel like playing the game at all? Today I would like to go over some key moments that led to the current state of the game, or to be exact, I want to answer a question I was asking myself for some time now. Why am I disappointed in Skate? So let's rewind time. It's 2020, Skate is announced, and after some time the "we're working on it" trailer drops. In it we see very early gameplay and all kinds of people reacting to it.
It just looks beautiful, this whole
playing
open
online
world.
sessions like that,
up the board
so
and looking back.
Reminds me of Skate 2.
Which got us all hyped up. And just on a little side note, today I see many comments attacking the council members, stating that they were paid to say these things so that the game would look better, which is just not true. I think it's pretty clear that they just took specific quotes and showed them out of context. But to go back to the main topic, we were all very hyped. But after this we got almost a full year of silence. But then finally the "still working on it" trailer dropped. And when people saw the game still looking like this, yeah, most were not happy. But then they also showed these clips and holy shit, this gameplay looked insane. The graphics, the animations, the realism. This is what we always wanted and the hype was real. Just weeks before this trailer dropped, people speculated that the game was abandoned, and now you had a whole community more excited than ever. But of course, there still were some people complaining that the game should release now. Oh boy, if you would have told us back then that we had to wait 4 more years. But now with the hype being at an all-time high, they decided to finally give us some more detailed information about the game, so they released the first boardroom video. And man, if you were there at that time, seeing the video and the live chat reacting to everything they said, oh boy. First of all, they explained that the new Skate game is not going to be titled Skate 4, but rather just Skate.
And here's the reason. This isn't a sequel. It's not a remake, it's not a reboot, a prequel, it's not any of that. It's not a remake, a remaster, whatever Re can do. This is it, it's Skate.
And I'm gonna be honest here, I never truly understood this decision. Of course, in this way it separates itself from the old trilogy, but at this point the word Skate 4 had become a buzzword.
We hope you had fun at EA Play. What was your favorite part?
No one cared about Titanfall!
Skate feels too simple and generic, and today the whole community is pretty much split on whether to call it Skate 4 or just Skate like they intended to. A big point for them to just call Skate was also the argument that there won't be another Skate game afterwards.
We're not an iterative title. There won't be a Skate 5 through 10. We won't be pumping them out all the time. We're going to do this. We're going to listen to what you guys say over the course of time and put the features that you guys want into it.
And in combination with this, they announced the first big thing.
Next Skate game would be a free-to-play title available to gamers around the world.
Will there be microtransactions in the game?
Yes. Yes. We knew that to support a never-ending, ever-evolving, free-to-play world of Skate, we'd have to look into different models for the game itself.
And man, the chat was going crazy. In this moment, the biggest fear people had was that the game would be filled to the rim with microtransactions, that you had to pay for shoelaces, tricks, or new boards. But immediately we were assured that nothing like this would be locked behind a paywall.
And it doesn't mean that you get some watered down Skate either. This is going to be an authentic, bigger than ever game for the fans.
Spending money is totally optional, and it's mostly about cosmetics and convenience.
They also announced collabo zones, which never really interested me at all, and as of right now they are also no longer in the game, so it seems like the general interest for them was not too big. But while they continued to talk about multiplayer in this game, we all started to ask the same question. Will there even be an offline mode? This rightfully got many people scared because no offline mode most likely meant no story mode. And also once the servers will be shut down, you won't be able to play this game anymore. So altogether this boardroom left people going from super hyped to being worried and having mixed feelings about the future of the game. After this, many more boardrooms would be released, each focusing on specific parts of the game, whether it be music, controls, graphics, challenges and so on. Some of these were received quite well, others not so much. But over all this time, some questions emerged that just would not be answered. Why is the development taking so long and when is the release date? Will there be a story? Will there be an offline mode? How exactly will microtransactions work in this game? And the longer these questions were avoided, the more impatient the community got. And sadly then Full Circle had to take a big hit when an early version of the game was leaked and everyone could play it. Not only is a leak like this always a disaster, it was also a very early version of the game. However, people assumed that it was the latest version. So now there was a huge wave of people complaining how the game can look this bad after all these years, when in reality the game was way further into the development. But not only that, even worse, people found traces of loot boxes in the game files and this resulted in the first big shitstorm. While the game was still in its most basic state, it already had loot boxes which fed right into the money-hungry EA narrative. So what did Full Circle do to calm the worries of everyone? Answer questions. Sounds good. Finally, all the questions we have will be answered, right? Well, most of these questions or comments were stuff we already knew, but the real big questions, for an example, if Skate will have an offline mode or story, were completely avoided, and so far the only statement we had regarding this was this.
Yes, there will be an ongoing story for both you and the city of St. Amsterdam, much like many other games. We're an evergreen game with an evolving story.
But this was a pretty vague statement, not giving us any real idea of what the actual story gameplay would look like. All in all, this video did not really satisfy most people, however it wouldn't take long until we got the first little teaser for the actual Skate story.
We know you may have heard the stories about the fine people here at M-Corp.
MongoCorp from Skate 2 and 3 is back, now called M-Corp. And all we know is that they were in charge of the city and somehow seem to completely abandon it.
We'll be here a long time.
With it came a briefcase, a new board, a whole website where you could even invest in M coins, making it look like this is an ARG around the game. And people loved it. It really feels like they invested some time into world building and are going to give us a really good story around M-Corp. But with this new hope, another new problem appeared. We got to see more gameplay that looked more polished, better textured, but many people asked, wait, is this the art style you are going for, or are these just placeholders? Currently the game seems to shape up to have this very cartoony art style reminiscent of games like Fortnite or The Sims. And this confused many people because back in the first trailer the game looked like this. Very realistic. So why are there new graphics added that look way worse? What happened to the old realistic art style? In Boardroom 5 they kinda addressed this, but yet again gave vague statements.
Jumping off from the previous installments in the franchise, you go back, you look at it, it's actually quite stylized. We're running with it, we're going to try and evolve that. Again, try and make that as appealing to a broad range of people as possible.
Evolving style? What does that mean? The old trilogy pretty much just looked like realistic games. So can you give us some examples? Like, what is the end goal here? And yet again we have another reason to worry about the future of Skate. More time passes until we get to the end of summer. We council members and some other playtesters get access to an early version of Skate to record videos and show the game to everyone. And the opinions on the game are mixed to say the least. On one hand, the game's already doing a lot of things right, but at the same time many of our worries seem to have become reality. The skating and the new tricks and mechanics are great, but the challenges, art style, the microtransactions and lack of story and offline mode really dragged the game down. But of course this is not the finished game, so we stay hopeful, reminding us that this is just a very early stage of the game that we console members got early access to. But then it happened. After 5 years of development, it was finally time. Skate was ready to go into early access. The game is not finished, but at a good enough state to finally let everyone play it. And to be honest, the launch of early access went quite good. There really was was some hype around the game and the player counts were so high that people would see waiting queues up to 900,000. Like, that's insane. You could really feel that everyone was just happy to finally play this game. But since not much time has passed since our playtester console videos, the game of course also hasn't drastically improved. And many people quickly learned that the game still had the same issues. And those were mostly the same worries we had all over these years. With the release of Early Access, Full Circle then also dropped a roadmap of the future of Skate, and that's great. This was some very open communication, which we always love to see. However, the roadmap itself did not look so exciting. Season 1 would introduce a skate pass, some improvements and 2 events. And after this we would still have to wait until December for Season 2. And only then we would get a fully working replay editor and missing tricks and a new co-op mode. So we still had to wait until December to finally have features that should have been there at release. And it's even worse for Season 3, because it doesn't even have a release date yet and includes some of the most important updates. Leaderboards, new game modes, dark slides, improved foot plans, and most important for me personally, player created parks. Yeah, it really still is a long way to go, and of course that's fine because the game is in early access, but at the same time right now it really is not enough to keep people playing. All the while the game looks nothing like what we saw back all these years ago in the first trailer, and sadly it would only get worse from here. Shortly after this, Season 1 dropped, which we all were eagerly waiting for. We knew that with this season we would get our first major update that would include some new locations, challenges, bug fixes and the skate pass. And while they changed the lighting of the game to have this more golden look, which is a step in the right direction for better graphics, the rest of the update was pretty much a letdown to most people. Most of us theorized about new locations that could be added with this update, but in the end we only got some ramps scattered around the map. Some people definitely found some enjoyment in these ramps, but for many others, me included, these ramps were just not enough. What's even worse is that these ramps feel way too unrealistic. Like, these are not ramps you would see in real life at an event, but rather in a Tony Hawk game. For an example, this ramp on top of this building. How are you even supposed to get up there? How was it even built? I know many people probably don't care about that stuff as long as it is fun to skate, but as a realistic playing skater this kinda bothers me. Especially if we could very well have realistic mega ramps in this game, that still would be fun. Now for the skate pass. Well, damn. In my opinion, none of these items are really interesting to me. And I'm not the only one thinking this. Most of these items feel very cheap and quickly thrown together. For a comparison, in Fortnite you have a few cool skins throughout the battle pass and then you work yourself towards one really cool skin at the end. But here in the skate pass we get this? I mean, it's kind of funny, but nothing I would spend extra time on to get it. And talking about spending time on the skate pass, this skate pass is actually insane to play through. But don't worry, of course you can buy ticks in the store just to unlock some levels. Yay. And the worst part, the skate pass costs $10 and you only get 400 San Van bucks out of it, which is not enough for the next one. So if you want to buy the next skate pass after this, you again have to buy additional San Van bucks. I think I don't even have to explain how much this sucks. Also, with the Season 1 update, the Isaac Clarke skin dropped in the item shop. To give some context, in Skate 3 you could enter a cheat code to unlock the Dead Space character Isaac Clarke. A fun little Easter egg that is really beloved by the fans. So bringing back this character to Skate in a new style that looks like someone made an Isaac Clarke cosplay out of cardboard boxes sure seems like a fun little nod to Skate 3. Except that the pack cost $33. Let that sink in. $33 for a worse version of a free Skate 3 character and some stickers and banners. Like, I don't know how they came up with this price, but it's just insane. We can actually compare this to Fortnite since they also did a Dead Space collab. Here the skin only costs around $12. The Skate skin costs almost 3 times as much. And not only that, with the $33 you could even buy 2 copies of the newest Dead Space remake. So what would you pick? A whole new game or one skin? Another good example for the messed up item shop are the Dickies pants. For months people were complaining that the Dickies pants that you could buy in the store looked exactly like the ones you could unlock for free out of the loot box. So what did the developers do? They got rid of the free pants you got in the loot boxes and replaced them with different ones. This yet again feels so greedy and out of touch with the community. At the same time, we got the Halloween update, which introduced some Halloween-themed parks and another Halloween-themed pass with another currency. Yes, we are at the 4th currency now, and right here you could really see many people leaving the game. Of course, it was not this single event that made everyone leave. Actually, the player count has been going down ever since the game released. But you could really feel a change in the community, in my opinion. Many people stopped uploading videos and the game kinda got stale. There simply wasn't really that much to do. And even the Maple Harvest event couldn't change anything about that. We again just got a few more challenges and new temporary skate parks. But then we finally got to Season 2. Many players, me included, were really looking forward to this. First of all because of the promised content that was shown in the roadmap, but also because this felt kinda like a deciding moment for the game. If this update would fail, the game probably wouldn't recover. And Full Circle actually kinda delivered. We got many things we were wishing for. New tricks, better graphics, really good map changes, new challenges, a better skate pass, and finally a working replay editor. I was actually really hyped about all of this and said in my review that this might be the best update yet. However, to my surprise, the community did not think alike. Because even though this update might improve a lot of things, that doesn't mean the game is good now. And this is something I kinda overlooked in my review, but learned the more I played. After a few days of playing and having fun with the new additions, I was quickly back where I was before. I don't know what to do in this game. The game might be better than before, but it's still not good. Minor complaints I had in my first review turned into things that would annoy me more and more. For an example, the replay editor is better, but the camera movement is still way too rough, which makes filming clips not fun at all. And what's even more frustrating is that we content creators are in a very bad spot right now. There's not much to do, so for an example I tried to review the game and talk about what's good and bad about it, but here's the catch. If you only talk bad about the game, it just makes more people quit the game. And if you talk about the positive aspects of the game, well, you're now an EA shill. And this is something that really got to me. Remember how I reviewed Season 2 and called it the best update yet? Well, people hated the update and so they accused me of getting paid by EA to say these things, which is just not true. But as long as I have to put an sponsored by EA disclaimer at the beginning of the video because I got early access to it, of course people are going to assume stuff like that, which I totally understand. Fast forward, as I'm editing this video, they just gave us a dev blog regarding Season 3 and the future of Skate. And when I read what they have planned, I was just speechless. As most of you know, at the beginning of the game you learn how to skate on the super sick tutorial island. However, once you complete the tutorial you can't go back to it. So as you might have guessed, people have been begging for the tutorial island to be available at all times. And finally, in Season 3, an even better version of the island will be added to the game and everyone can play it. And with everyone I mean those who pay for it. Yes, you heard that right. First, only those who paid for the premium skate pass will be able to skate it. Then for roughly 3 weeks there will be an event where everyone can skate it. And after that you again have to either buy the premium skate pass or pay 500 rip chips to unlock the map for 24 hours. Yes, I'm not even kidding. They really want you to pay to temporarily play this map. 500 rip chips for 24 hours access or $10 to buy the premium pass and have access until the season ends. For the next season you then have to buy the next season pass. Those are your only two options. Like, this is just next level greed. They even changed up this little Q&A section on their website so that it no longer says that new areas will always be free. Remember what they promised us back in the day?
That's why when we decided to explore this model, we made some hard ground rules to follow. There are no areas of gameplay or the map that you have to pay to unlock.
Well, that promise did not hold up long. One day later they posted a new roadmap. Here we can see all the new stuff that is coming to Season 3 and beyond. Some highlights include dark slides, a new game mode called Speedlines, tattoos and new brands. But there are some big issues under the radar. As we know, the tutorial island will cost money to fully play it. With tattoos it is confirmed that some will cost money, so you can bet that all the real cool ones are only gonna be in the item shop. Same goes for new brands, which will also be only in the item shop or skate pass. Also, this is just my personal opinion, but the description of speed lines sounds like you just have to complete lines as fast as possible, which does not sound that exciting. Now, on the looking forward part, we get some actually really cool stuff that is currently in development. Spot battles, game of skate, a matchmaking system, and a new world area. Boardware and finger flips also sound cool. But note that we don't get any confirmation date for these. We don't know if these things will be added in season 4 or 5 or even later. And now we get to the worst part. The on the radar part. Why is it the worst part? Well, because right here we have the coolest features. However, these things are not even really worked on. They are in discussion, meaning it's not even confirmed that we will ever get them. Private servers, underflips, player-created parks, leaderboards, proximity chat, legacy spots and game modes, and different board shapes. These are all things the whole community really wants in this game. It's crazy how long we have been begging for private servers just so that they are in discussion for them. And the thing that really hit me, custom parks. On the old roadmap it was said that these would be added in season 3. Oh, and beyond. I see. Well, they really kinda tricked us here. This is just so crazy to me. How are these things not a priority to them? How can they be so out of touch with what the fans want from this game? It's just so frustrating. And here we get back to the question of the beginning of this video. Why do I have no desire to play this game? And I think it's simply a accumulation of everything that happened so far. Every little letdown, every shitstorm, every time that it felt like the developers are not listening to what the fans want. Every time that they straight up just lied to us. Every time I hoped that the game would somehow become that game I always wanted, just to be disappointed again. To be stuck here not knowing what videos even to make about this game that people would enjoy. Simply to not see the game I was wishing for all these years. I think here many of us just really miss the skating culture. Where is the immersive skateboarding world? Where are the unlockable skate brands? The pro skaters? Why are some animations worse than in Skate 3? Why are so many of the character customizations such a downgrade? Where are all the custom designs we can create? The different style options? The grittiness of the old games? The single player mode? The interesting story? It really feels like the game just released way too early and should have been in close development for a much longer time. But maybe we are just not the target audience for this game. But who is it then? I guess casual players who hopefully will spend money in the item shop? Because right now it seems like the whole game is laid out with only this in mind. At the moment this does not feel like the next big skate game with a little additional item shop. This feels like an item shop that also includes some skating. So what's the plan for the future? Will I just say, okay, this game sucks and quit? No. Because it's not that simple. It's not that the whole game sucks. The skating itself feels incredible and I still can't wait to finally have custom parks to create. And I know there are some really great developers currently working on this game who also want it to become the best skating game ever. I just really hope that somehow this all still switches up. Because if you look at the player counts right now, they do not look that good and I'm afraid that one day it's just too late. I hope it's clear what I wanted to point out with this video. I kinda wanted to explain why I feel so frustrated about Skate and also I guess kinda just let it all out. Maybe some of you can relate to it. Again, I want this game to be good and I hope that the future updates will be great, but in the current state, it's simply just not. And that's why for now, I am disappointed in Skate. See ya.